My friends, look at this, the 30th of October 2014, Mr. Max Bliss. And yes, look at that. Can we get positive identification on that plane? Look at it, it's disgusting. We've just had Transavia deploy a massive great big chemtrail. Look at that. That was Transavia's chemtrail. Let's have a quick look at Flight Radar 24. Okay, we had Flight Radar 24. What's coming over us right now? There we go. It's a KLM plane. That is leaving a filthy chemtrail. KLM, part of the Air France group. Whew. Here's the details. There's the plane. And let's have a look outside. There you go, look at that. It's just flown under Transavia's one, look at that. Quite clearly it's flown underneath Transavia's contrail chemtrail. There you go, KLM. Ooh, let's have a good watch of that. Something happened there. KLM. And interestingly, there are slight breaks in it. I thought there was something going on. And interestingly, you've got planes coming right past it, not leaving the same kind of trails, shorter dissipating trails. So we can have a look at Flight Radar and just have a look at the difference. So did it go under or over? That too has gone under. But it's a very different trail, isn't it? Very different trail. I thought there was something that happened. I said there was something that happened in the video, and it looks like a couple of blobs there. Something happened there. I was able to see it. So those two planes there have got what most people would say is a normal contrail. Okay, short dissipating trail is what we always used to remember up until the late 1990s. And then we started to get these very long and persistent and expanding contrails, which we believe are chemically induced contrails for the use with electromagnetic frequency for covert climate forcing. Okay, so I'm going to have a quick look at the at Flight Radar. Okay, here we go, back on. So we've got those two planes that were following KLM. Let's have a look. First one was Ryanair. Now Ryanair do actually spray quite a lot, but the altitude was 37,000 feet, flying a Boeing 737. So what was the altitude of the KLM, just for comparison, was only 33, and the one behind the Ryanair, who normally spray, was an Embraer from Air Europa, and they often spray as well. So today they were having short dissipating trails. KLM had a long persistent trail. Transavia's had a long persistent trail. The Transavia and the KLM have left a great big X in the sky, whereas the other two planes following have left nothing because they had short dissipating trails. So there you have it, my friends. There is the trail from Transavia and KLM. There's even another plane flying along there. These pilots are breathing in this. The particles, the nanoparticles, have been known associated with neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis and other conditions. Now, I will say that many pilots keep their mouths shut about chemtrails. Many are frightened to lose their jobs and lose their careers, which is completely understandable. However, there is a condition called aerotoxic syndrome. Aerotoxic syndrome is a recent condition. Now, although they said there was cases of aerotoxic syndrome back in the 1950s, that is just to give it some age. The truth is, the cases of aerotoxic syndrome really started to multiply towards the end of the 90s. So much so that the Civil Aviation Authority from the UK were prompted and responded and did an investigation into air quality. Now, what they found was they did an experiment by taking particles from the inside of an air duct and having those examined by electron microscope. And what they found was the peak materials were aluminium and silicates. And these are consistent, although they say in the actual investigation that it's consistent with the lubrication theory. They believe that lubrication and oils are burning and coming into the air. It's also consistent with the idea and the testing of aluminium oxide being used to create these trails, along with many other different types of chemicals to induce these contrails. So we're talking about chemtrails here. So the reason that the Civil Aviation Authority were doing an investigation into cabin air quality was because they had a huge amount of complaints. So they had to respond and do this investigation. If this was a genuine situation where aerotoxic syndrome's always been around, why weren't they doing it in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s or the 90s? No, they did it in 2004. And that was the beginning. 1997 was the beginning of the chemtrail program, the reports of it. So we are seeing pilots and frequent flyers becoming ill. Think about that, my friends. And pilots, you might be losing your jobs. You're going to lose your freedom soon. Agenda 21 will mean a lockdown. We are talking about a cashless society where every single thing we do will be monitored. You will be tightly controlled. We're moving to a fully automated system in this nation where there won't be people working in the shops. There'll be just RFID systems where you can just pick up anything in the shop and just walk out. No need to worry about stealing, because it'll be impossible to steal anything anymore because it'll have its RFID chip on it. There'll be CCTV cameras everywhere, and this is going to happen not just in the shopping places, it's going to happen every single place. There's going to be something called the Outernet and satellites all linked up, and they're going to be totally watching us, and they're going to lock us down into this horrible prison planet slave system spearheaded on the climate change card. It's time to wake up. We're all being lied to. The governments want this new world order. They want this desperately because they're crazy, insane puppets of the obscenely rich elites. Time to wake up, my friends. Take care. Bye for now.